Hi guys, Lucy aka The Watchbox Diaries here with another video for you. Now, for those of you who might not know, Tudor are the little sister, little brother company to Big Boy Rolex. But in my personal opinion, they have managed to find a way to hold their own and come out of the shadow of their bigger brother. I think this has got a lot to do with their staple ranges, and most iconically, I would say, is the Black Bay range. With that in mind, let's fast forward to Watches and Wonders 2023. Now, there was a lot of hype and probably not a lot of substance in terms of new releases, again in my opinion. But one brand that I think shone and did really well with their releases was Tudor. I haven't got my hands on the Black Bay 54, but you should already know that because of the title of this video. But one of the other watches that did catch my eye from Watches and Wonders is their fantastic Opaline dial GMT, coined by themselves as the Traveller's Black Bay. Want to hear my thoughts? Come on. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of my likes and gripes with this watch, let's talk specifications. Now it comes in at 41mm, houses the automatic MT5652 COSC certified movement, which comes with 70 hours of power reserve, pretty substantial. Comes with 200 meters of water resistance, also quite substantial. Has a bi-directional bezel with gradient, and also has that lovely domed Opaline dial. Opaline meaning milk glass, which just makes me thirsty. I love the Black Bay as a watch, as a range anyway, and this is absolutely no exception. I'm a pretty big fan of this watch. You pick it up and the quality of it is just fantastic. I think where it is priced is a good price for this watch, for the quality that you're getting, from the dial to the case to the polishing to the bracelet to the clasp. Everything as a whole package I think is great value. I do often say how much I love a clean dial, and this is perfect. The pips are nice and clean, very easy to see, very legible. There's not too much going on the dial, apart from lots of wording on the bottom, which doesn't need to be there, but that's just a little pet hate for me. Because those pips are so large on that dial, it gives it a much bigger surface to lume up. So the lume on this watch is fantastic, it's nice and clear, and makes it a perfect candidate for a Friday night lume battle over on Instagram. But my favourite bit. It's so hard to photograph this bit, but the dial, that Opaline, domed Opaline dial, is beautiful. Unfortunately, most of the time it photographs white, and it has so much more when you see it in person. It's almost shiny, more opal coloured. It's similar to that, like that. Just gives it so much more depth and makes that dial, which could be quite flat, so much more interesting. And yeah, like, beautiful dial, beautiful. I honestly struggled to find a lot of gripes with this watch, other than my big gripe with this watch. Now, one of the smaller ones is a bit of a pet hate, and I mentioned it earlier. It just doesn't need that much information on the dial. Like, just stop it. It's such a lovely watch with the rest of it. It doesn't need the specifications on the dial. So this other little one isn't a gripe for me. I'm not bothered by it at all, and I can barely notice it. But it has been pointed out that the date wheel does not match the dial. They're both white, but because of that Opaline dial, they're not entirely matching. Again, not a problem for me, but possibly a problem for some of you. Now, on to my big gripe. And it is a very big gripe, literally. 41mm is probably a little bit bigger than I would normally wear, but if you bird's eye view it on my wrist, it's not ridiculous. I would rock it. However, the sheer thickness of this watch on my wrist looks ridiculous. It comes in at 14.5mm thick, and you can tell it does look like I've just put a brick on my wrist. So not only is it heavy, it sits very prominent on my wrist and just makes it look, yeah, pretty ridiculous, unfortunately. Why? Why? To sum up my thoughts on this watch, I would have to say it's almost perfect. What you're getting for your money, I think, is such good value. It's a solid design from a solid brand, excellent quality, excellent build, a solid movement, a great function, a beautiful dial. Like, I love that dial so much. It's so pretty. If you get the opportunity to see one of these in person, go for it, because my videos especially just don't do it justice. My only reservation to stop it being perfect is the size of it. Yes, a 39mm would obviously be better for me, but that thickness just needs to come right down. I don't understand why it's so thick when they and other brands are able to do a GMT in a thinner size that sits more comfortably on the wrist. That is my only gripe really with this piece, and unfortunately it would stop me from purchasing one, which is really, really annoying because everything else about it I just love. Guys, that's it. Thank you very much for tuning in as always. Now it is over to you. Let me know your thoughts on this watch and this release down in the comments section below. Have you tried it on? Do you think it's way too thick? Do you like the dial? Do you not like the dial? Does the date window annoy you? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, if you can help a girl out, make sure you have liked and subscribed to the channel and feed those algorithm gremlins for me. And if you enjoy me rambling about watches and you would like to be notified of more, make sure you turn on that little bell and YouTube will do its thing. But until then, bye.